Hi, and welcome to a new episode in Luderia, where we are making the first mini-games of this project. Do I call it a project? Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I've already done all the boring digging stuff, and at this point I think it's good to start with a little bit of a centralized power. I know we have the power station over at the other side of the river, but this is meant to be a self-sustaining thing because I want to use the same little games all over the place. We're gonna start off with some water. I think I have buckets. I do. I think 10 should be enough. There we go. And because we're doing carnival games, or like small little mini games, I guess, I wanted to see what were actual carnival games, and these are kind of inspired by those. Yeah, I'm gonna get a base floor in here. We have the basement for all the redstone and the mechanics of the games, but we do need a floor. We do need to know where the actual games are going to be sitting. So let's grab some dirt and place it back in. Okay, now that we have a bit of a false floor in place, because we're going to be raising this by one level because we still need to do the gravel road. But because we're using gravel, we want a secondary level, so that's where this level comes in. Just so the gravel doesn't keep falling. Now, let's start with game number 1. I think I'm going to start with this one over here. And this is my take on the classic ring the bell kind of thing, where you have to swing a hammer and ring the bell up at top of the like little column thing. I figured out a way to do it in Minecraft, or at least something that's very similar. Since we do have a maze, that would require us to go high and down, but we have something that keeps in mind accuracy as well. We have a target block. Maybe a good disclaimer is most of these games, there's 5 of them, I think. We've got 4 of them that are going to be all noodly, and then one of them is just kind of funny. But most of these games are a way for me to use some of these fun new blocks that are introduced using supplementaries. Like the speaker block is one of them. Relayers are one of them. This block basically just acts as a repeater, but you can put it in all directions, plus vertical. So that actually quite helpful in certain situations. This game, the little hammer thingy, is going to be using crossbows, and I'll show you how in a second. I need to get the construction up, and then we'll do the redstone later. Okay, so we'll have an armor stand sitting in here. We'll do boom. We're going to give him a golden apple, because, you know, why not? And then we want apple. Is it like that? Yes. No, we'll have to rotate him. So that should now have that guy sitting there. And I think, if I remember correctly, that armor stands float. So let me grab a bucket of water. So we'll try and see if he floats. Well, he won't float now, but if I powered this guy, he should float. Do I have a lever in here somewhere? How are we doing? Are we up? No. Wait, where did he go? Oh, there he is. Okay, he's not going anywhere. That's not good. Okay, we are gonna have to do this the old style, and we're gonna have to go bucket for bucket. There we go. So now if I power this one, the apple should go up. There we go. And if I power this side, the apple should go down. Now the only thing that we need to do is hook up that target block so that if we hit it towards the center, we go all the way up, or if we hit it somewhere outside of the center, it goes up a little bit and then goes back down. The thing about target blocks is the closer you get to the middle, to the center of the block, the stronger the redstone signal. So if we come over here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 right there. that's the maximum strength. So if we do this and then have our timers, which will just be those extenders basically over here, one will be set to like 2 ticks, that'll just take it up a little bit and down, and this one will be set to like 10 ticks, and these will feed back into the main line right here, and that will go there. Yes, so standard, we want this to be powered and this one to be depowered. So let's grab a good old-fashioned redstone torch, and that is going to power it. And then I think, let me check, I need to set up this one. This needs to be a little bit of a delay, like that. So technically, I'm not sure if this is going to work. If I hit it, we should be able to... Of course, we do have a flame bow, which is not something I want to keep going with. So let's grab ourselves a crossbow. Okay, that's nothing. It's not good. There we go. Okay, let me check if I did everything correctly. Okay, I think I figured it out. Let's do... that is nothing. That is a little bit. And that should have taken it all the way to the top. Nah, I'll figure it out later. For now though, I need to work out a way to pay for this game. And to kind of get our arrow and crossbow and stuff. And I think we'll start off with, I don't know, the entrance or like the payment where people pay and receive their stuff, and then we'll work from there. So what we need is we need a way to store crossbows and arrows. We need a way to store prizes or a prize that they're gonna win if they do shoot it in the middle. We don't really need a way to store spurs, because numismatics has us covered on that. I'll explain that later, but we should be good on that. We need a way that when they pay a spur, they get 1 arrow, 1 crossbow, they can shoot, and then when they hit it in the middle, they need to get a prize. That sounds like a lot, but I feel like we can all fit it within this space. Okay, I am going to grab some of these. Just 1 stack is enough. Let me clear out the inventory a little bit. Let's see if this works. So for a prize, I am going to add some of these in here. Then we still need to set the filter right there, and then we'll take the signal from here. Then I need to load in some arrows right here, and let's do an arrow as well. Basically what's happening is that ends up in here, gets filtered out, and should be in their respective droppers as we want. This guy will fill up with bevels, which only is going to be useful if they win. And then this is our return. Both the prizes and the arrow and crossbow end up in this like column here. So we should be able to now pay here. And then things should be here. That's good. Then we take our shot. Like that. We don't win. And then we return the crossbow for the next player. They will have to return the crossbow every time that they play. Because when they do so, they get a new one. Right? When they do want to play again, they get a new one. And they can play. And then we win. We should be seeing a bevel. I only want 1 though. Why is it twice? Let's make you a little longer. It's still 2. It's still triggering twice, which is not what I want. Making it 20 ticks is gonna be too long though. Okay, that's fine. Let's put these in here. Good. That is nice. That's what we want. And that is technically, this game is done. Now I do need to grab some more fully functional crossbows, because the ones that I have are a bit broken. Now the good thing is we can combine these, or we can craft new ones. So I'll load that up with crossbows once the games are done. And some arrows. I mean, technically we could already put in the arrows I have. And that should now be filling up that guy. That's game number 1. It's looking a bit rough, but once the floor is in, it'll look a bit better. And now I'm going to go over to another classic, which is fishing. The good thing about the next game is that we are relying on a in-game mechanic, being fishing. And the cool thing about Minecraft fishing mechanics is that there's already a established loot table. We don't really have to tinker with chances or with luck or whatever. We can just use the Minecraft loot table to do that for us. Minecraft works in a way where you have treasure, you have junk, and you have fish. Now, in this type of pool, we won't be able to get treasure, but we should be able to get junk and fish. So if we work with what we have, and we establish that, let's say, cod and salmon are junk fish, meaning you get no price for those, and then pufferfish and tropical fish are a small price type of fish, and then whenever you get junk, meaning a fishing rod or a piece of leather or whatever, you get, well, a big prize. The only thing that we need to do is to figure out a way to distinguish between those three, which should be fairly easy using a similar setup to this, where we filter on the prizes, basically. And according to those, we dispense a amount of coin that they win. So let me get that in. It's going to be a lot of noodling, but I'll be able to figure it out fairly quickly, I think. And I'll get back to you once we have some concrete mechanics in place. First things first, this is where they're going to return their prize or their fish or whatever they fished out, and their fishing rod. And then we need to split out those two. So if I go in here, I should have some list filters somewhere. This means that every fishing rod is going to go in here, and the rest, anything else, is going to go in there. We grab some smart observers, which I already have, and we have them watch this guy right here, and these are also going to be filtered. There we go. That's our loot table for our chunk. Now, this looks like a lot of options, but Minecraft doesn't really give you all that much chunk in a way. From what I know, right, there's only a 10% chance of catching treasure or junk, and in this kind of pond, it's the treasures are out of the option, so it's only 10% of catching junk. That means 9 out of 10 turns will be a fish. I'm gonna get a vault in here to store some prizes, and then fix up that entire thing, and then I'll bring you back in once I figured out how I'm gonna do the prize thingy, how I'm gonna get prizes up to here, basically. That should do, and then if we, hopefully this goes in the right direction. That does go in the right direction. I am gonna speed this up because I don't want people to have to wait for their prizes. So we're gonna rotate this at full capacity. There we go. This is very rigged because the Minecraft statistics are not in your favor when it comes to fishing. But what I did is I made it pretty high reward as well. So for a small prize, I have 4 bevels, and then for a big prize, I have 1. What is it called? A sprocket, which is 16 times the price that they paid for the game. So that's a good thing. I guess we could test it out right now. I have some of them in there. I have a little like to-doom kind of sound for if they lose, and then a ting 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 for if they win. And we have a fishing rod, so we could as well try it out. I don't know what we're gonna get. Look at that. Lily pad of the get-go. That's good. Put that in there. Ting, ting, ting. And we get a sprocket. And then, of course, we need to return our fishing rod, which is also done in here, and that should go in here, ready for the next one to use. That is good, but you know how those carousel thingies on the fair, there's always like little ducks that you have to fish out? I kind of want to simulate that. And the closest thing that I've found to something that can float and kind of looks like a duck is lunch baskets. So we're gonna make some mine carts with lunch baskets on them. You. We don't want to lock rotation because I kind of want them to spin around. Do that. 1, 2. Basket on top. Blue. And I think I should be able to power pick it up and place it down in here. And just have it go around. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and grab some more fishing rods. I'm also going to grab some new crossbows. And then I'll bring some more glue, and then we can finish these two up and start on the third one. I don't know which one I'm going to do. This one's pretty big, but you'll see why in a second. This one's fairly easy, but just needs a bit of space underground. Let me grab some glue and some fishing rods and some crossbows, and I'll be right back. And that should turn this guy in the right direction, which it's doing. That's good. Now I'm gonna put a couple of coppers in here, just because we can, which is our prize basically. I set it to 4 coppers for now, because this game should be fairly easy once you get the hang of it. So we don't want to make it too profitable. We don't have breeze or wind charges just yet, but basically we're starting the game over here by unlocking this guy, right? And it's this should also be powering that guy over there, which is just going to release 1 wind charge whenever I have some. At that point, once we've triggered these, and this is what I want to test now, we should read out 3 items. If it's only 2 or below, it's not going to ring at all. But this should turn off, resetting the game. But by doing that, I should trigger this block, which triggers the bell. Right? Triggers the bell. But I also want to trigger this guy here. So let's see if that is happening. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. That makes sense. Boom, triggers, and then we should get 4 spurs over here, and then all of this is reset. So now the only thing I need for this game is wind charges, which are actually fairly easy to get. So let's go back to the starter base and do that real quick. For wind charges, we can grab some of these. We'll go to the workshop. Do I have a bucket of snow in here? I do. And then we just drop them in there, and then they'll become breeze rods. Good thing about end rods or blaze rods is that we can easily get more. So there we go. There we go. And now we grab all of these and go back to our little game. we're loading up the barrels or the vaults just to see if what we're doing works. Well, technically we can just try this. So we should be able to pay, get one of those, and then that's only 2, meaning that we didn't win. And then if I pay for another round, then I should be able to, or this should have reset. There we go. And try it again manually, which should result in us getting a couple of copper coins. Okay, that's game number 3 done. Now let's do this one, which isn't as difficult to make or difficult to play, but it does take a little bit of copper. What this is going to be is, it's one of those things where you aim or try to aim with the water gun at a clown or something, and you just kind of try to get the ball up or the water level up. So that's what we're trying to do here, which might work, might not work. We'll see. Let's do that. Let's get you guys in here. Okay, and then we need to we need a way to power this manually. So we'll do you. One more thing, I don't want people to be able to start turning the wheel before anyone else, because this is a game you'll have to play against other people, of course. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce a couple of clutches sitting over here. Those can turn, and then we'll turn those off by default. Okay, there we go. Turned off as we should. Now I just need to figure out how I'm gonna start the game, right? And then I also need a way to drain the containers, the fluid tanks. And that's what this is gonna be for. Let me get this functional, and then I'll explain to you guys what this is gonna do. I should have everything done. I'm using some of these speaker blocks because those can type out messages as a status message, which is kind of cool for a countdown. And you'll see that in action very soon. And then behind here, we're basically just, if somebody wins, we're just kind of unlocking, or we're gonna unlock a clutch, basically. Let's see. So everything should be off by default, which is good. That's how we go. Then if I put in a coin, we should activate our countdown sequence, and then I should be able to turn one of these wheels. 1, go. And we're turning, we're sucking up water, we're filling our tank. So the red line is a good indicator, but so is just the window on the tank. So bell goes, we've won, and that drains again. And this guy should unlock, but it's not. Oh, I switched him around. Okay, that should do. Now, before we work on the last game in this 5-game enterprise, I'm gonna get the ground in and all the decorations in, because I need a solid ground for the last game. So might as well do that while you guys watch me do it, I guess. I'm not going to tell you what this is because I want you guys to see it in a minute. But this last game is actually quite funny, more so than it's a skill-based thing. Yeah, this will make sense in a second. Give me a second. And this will be a dunk tank almost. again, I just need some snowballs. So let me go and grab some. And I will see what I can do. So let's show you what this is. I had to put a little stopper up there so he stayed in his little pocket. But if I pay for... Oh, I should probably set the right amount. So one right there. Boom. That's gonna keep emptying, but we can show you what this does. If I pay a coin, I should get one snowball. Then I stand behind these little bars, and we try and hit it within the center, which is that's not how things go. You have to hit it again really close to the center, but I know it's doable. Alright, let's try this again. You come with me. Go in here. There you go. He's waiting. And then you. And obviously, they should float down. Which I think I could simulate if I wanted to. Try this again. See if he goes down now. No. Because this is... Wait, how's that not a full block? There we go. We'll figure it out. But for now, that's that. We've got a dunk tank as well. And that's honestly all the games I need in this area. Of course, they need some explanation and some posters and stuff. But overall, I got 5 carnival games that I'm actually pretty happy about. This isn't the only game I've been working on, but to explain the other game, I need to go to a... well, I'm not done with the other game. Still working on it, but to explain what we're working on, or what I've been working on, I need to go to a test world, so I'll see you all over there. Welcome to a creative testing world where I test a lot of stuff in. I've been working on some modded stuff, if you could have guessed, while my voice has been recovering. I don't know if you've heard it throughout the video, my voice has been struggling a lot in the past week, but I've been working on, as people in the card community might have noticed, on a card game. This layout on this field is pretty standard for a card game, and I've been using Cube.js to make cards. Basically just have a couple of cards, and then in the tooltips we have some attacks, some buffs, some effects, whatever. I'm still kind of working out on how we're going to play it. I have a rough idea of what it's going to be, but I still have to, like, you know, iron out some of the kinks, and I still have to, like, play test it. But a lot of this is happening on stream, so if you want to watch me struggle through this, you're welcome over on Twitch or one of the YouTube streams. The actual playing of this is gonna happen soonish, or at least I want to start test playing the moment I have some more cards in here, or at least some more types of cards in here. But that's about it. This is what I've been working on while I couldn't talk. Now, let's go back into our survival world, into Luderia, and let me show you how I'm going to collect coins from the games into one central point. So we're back at the base, because I need to make some cards. I need more than one, that's I'm sure. So, I don't know, let's make 13, I guess. That'll be fine. And then we have to go back to our games, and we're gonna show you how this works. So the thing is, you can bind these cards to yourself, to your player. And then if you look at these games where I already have coins in, we also have a slot for a card. So if I put a card in here, those coins disappear. I'm gonna show you where they're going, but let me put a card in each of these games as terminals. And then, you know, I'll show you where the coins go. Okay. That's all the cards done in their place. And now I need to go. I think I have a terminal or bank terminal in the coin mint. So let me. Yeah, we have one over here. So if I open this, you can see we have 20 coins and a little bit more. Those are the coins from the game. So every coin that's inserted in those andesite depositors are returned into my bank account, basically, which is really cool and handy because, you know, I don't need to do money transportation. I can just, you know, magically poof them all around the world, which is going to be handy when we start making more city than just this one. But that, with being sick this week and stuff, and all the other projects that I'm working on, is going to be it for today, because I don't have any more time, and this video needs to go out tomorrow, and I still need to edit it. So this was episode 9. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, subscribe and like, and I'll see you all for episode 10. Yeah, 10. Crazy that we're on episode 10 then, but I'll see you in that one. Bye!